Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the Redington webinar sessions. Today's topic we have from MicroStrategy, and we have our pre-sales consultant, Mr. Suhail Faraz, who will be running you through the session. Suhail, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Suhail, and I am the principal consultant for analytics, RPA, robotic process automation, and artificial intelligence. And here at Redington, I hope everyone all of you are fine and keeping safe during this difficult time. Just give me a minute to start sharing my screen. I hope all of you can have a look at my screen now. Okay. Like to start with, like today's agenda would be about hyperintelligence from MicroStrategy. So I would be going through what MicroStrategy is as a platform and how hyperintelligence can empower your organizations in terms of the data that you see. Okay, so to start with MicroStrategy, I would like to give a brief background of this company. They were established in the year 1989, and they are one of the pioneers in the area of the business intelligence. They were one of the few companies that started purely as a BI company. They started as a data mining company and poured into the multiple areas of prescriptive analytics, descriptive analytics, and at the moment they are present in 27 countries, along with a customer base of 4,000 customers with 3 development centers. Just a minute, let me check. Can you guys hear me? Just let me confirm this. I mean, hello. Yes, we can. Oh, we can hear you. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for the confirmation. Yeah. Okay. So this is the brief background for the company about this MicroStrategy that we have now. If you look at the kind list of the clients that they have got pretty impressive customer base across the world. I mean, if you look at the international level, okay, they have got Netflix, they have LinkedIn, Facebook in terms of the technology. I mean, what I mean to say is that they actually operate across various verticals like retail, technology, financial services, healthcare, communication, government. No matter what vertical you have, I mean, they are actually capable of working in that particular sector. Okay. And like you will be amazed to know that the complete reporting platform at Facebook is powered by MicroStrategy. Okay. Like if you look at the financial services, there are some really well-known customers like Barclays, the Dutch Bank. Then if you look at the healthcare, then you have the Pfizer's, you have the Quesos. In terms of the communication, you have Swisscom, Vodafone, a lot more customers. Now coming to the Middle East, okay. Again, they actually work with quite big names here in the Middle East, like Mashreq Bank in UAE, Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank, then Qatar Investment Authority in the financial services. And when it comes to the airlines, they actually work with Emirates, Turkish Airlines, Fly Dubai. And coming to the telecommunication, they actually work with Saudi Telecom here in Saudi Arabia. They also work with Mobile, and in UAE they work with DU, Etisalat, at Qatar they work with Orido, and they do also have some really strong government references like Smart Dubai, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Royal Commission for Jubilee and Yanbu in Saudi Arabia, and a lot others. I mean, I believe you guys have is like a brief overview of the customer base across the world and especially across the Middle East. I mean, this slide gives a pretty good. So this slide actually gives you a pretty good overview of the customers that they have got across the Middle East. Now, MicroStrategy, as I told you earlier, MicroStrategy have been a pioneer in terms of the delivering uh, intelligence to enterprise across various domains. I mean, they were the one who started with the PC intelligence in the year 1989, and after that, many others followed the suite. And then they had the web intelligence in 1999, and they were the first one who introduced the mobile intelligence in the year 2019. And you will be glad to know that they are the one who came up with the idea of hyperintelligence in the year 2019. And I'll be talking shortly about what hyperintelligence is all about and how it can empower your organizations. Okay. Yeah, apparently in the year 2019. Okay. Uh, enterprises I would say enterprises make thousands of decisions every day. I mean, but it does take time. I mean, a lot of decisions take like multiple days. What about if can shorten the time period from days to the seconds? Okay. And what if you are increasing the ability of your workforce to take decisions quickly? Okay. See, because the number of decisions that are taken in a day might be less, it might take time, they are time consuming, so that actually reduces, I would say, that actually reduces your efficiency. Now, if you're empowering them to take decision within seconds, just imagine the kind of impact that he can make to an organization. But before moving to that place, I mean, before empowering your workforce to enable them to take decisions within seconds, what you need to know is that, like, what percentage of your workforce are capable of making this decision, or percentage of workforce, I would say, what percentage of workforce uses data on a daily basis to make decisions, to make the decisions. So as per the study, I mean, by various analyst firms, only 30%, only 30%, that's the maximum level, only 30% of the workforce use the data on a daily basis to take database decisions. Yeah. So what we need to understand is that, I mean, why do this remaining 70% of the people do not use analytics? I mean, what's the reason that they are not working with the data? What's the problem? So there are three basic problems. Okay. So there are basically three problems that have been identified in this process. So the three fundamental challenges that prevent people from using data and analytics to make smarter decisions. First one is the time. Second one is the skill. Sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. So as I was saying, the second one is skill, and the third one is inclination. The first one being time. People rely on their gut decisions because people are unwilling to take the time to find the information that they need to make more informed decisions. Second thing is that majority of the workforce might not be skilled as expected to use the analytics platform. Okay. And third thing, I would say, it's the inclination, and people do use simply do not want to use the traditional charts and graphs. I mean, they need tools that make them feel like they're not using analytics, because people are a bit resistant to change, I would say. Now, hyperintelligence. I mean, what is hyperintelligence? Hyperintelligence is basically the answers that find you. Putting in other words, I would say that hyperintelligence is all about injecting analytics, injecting data, injecting insights into the application that you use on a daily basis. For example, okay, in a typical scenario, I mean, you have an analyst or you have a particular executive who is working, I mean, who basically wants to have an access to a particular report. In a usual scenario, what he does is that he needs to log into the screen. He need to, like, first he need to, yes, he basically needs to enter his credentials, username, passwords, then needs to navigate to the particular folder where his report is stored. Then he needs to click on it. Okay. And after that, he can access his reports. But with hyperintelligence, what you have is that, I mean, this particular report or this particular information that he's looking at, it can be directly injected into his Outlook based on a particular keywords. And I will show you later on like how that can be done, like using live demo for that. Okay. So hyperintelligence about bringing relevant contextual answers to when and where they are needed. Okay. They deliver you the zero-click analytical experience that is simple as hovering and pushing over a highlighted word or receiving a push notification on the way to your next meeting. So by this, what I mean to say is that, I mean, for example, you are looking uh, for a report. Say you want to know. Suppose, for example, take this example. You are a sales-based organization, okay, and you want to have a look. What are the number of leads that have been generated? What is the revenue? What is the pipeline? What is the gross margin that a particular salesperson has generated? I mean, okay. So in a typical scenario, what will you use? I mean, you need to log into the CRM system, you need to log into the Salesforce, you need to log into multiple systems and get the information from various systems. But with hyperintelligence, what you can do is that, like in my email, in my Outlook, what I can do is that I can just type the name of the person, that salesperson. The moment I type the name of the salesperson, a card will pop up for me. Okay. Okay, for example, for me, I mean, I am the sales guy. Let's say Suhail, and there's a manager named Manager X. He is trying to look the kind of pipeline, the kind of gross margin revenue that I generate. So what he does is that he just simply types my name in his Outlook, types name Suhail, my name will be highlighted. And the moment I hover my mouse over that particular name, my name, a card like this will be displayed. For example, in this scenario, you can see, I mean, a card is actually displayed where all the particular information is given, like phone, email, tenure, expertise, rate, booking, availability. So hyperintelligence is built on a new yet incredibly familiar object cards. Some of the sample cards that can be built are like for the employee, you can build your cards for your customers, which gives you all the information. Then you have with regards to the activity, like the case number, what's the case, what's the priority of the case, what's the customer status, like how long this ticket has been opened. Then even for the accounts, you can create. Then for the product based cards, then you have related locations. So creating of these cards, this hyper cards, is actually independent of the object, I would say. I mean, you can create this card on top of anything, on top of any keywords that you want. I mean, there is no restriction to it. So what basically cards are, so and how they actually look like. So cards are basically something that deliver contextual insights in the websites, application, and devices people use every day. Okay. At the top level, you can see you have the card header where you have this key information. For example, in this scenario, let's assume that the HR is actually looking for someone who can do a job that they have received or something. So you see the card header over here there. It contains variety of high level information on the keyword attribute and the link to the other systems. And then you have the card body wherein you can include all the key KPIs that you're looking for, or whatever information that you want, that you feel that is important. And at the below you have something called as card footer. That comes as a recommendation. So a card footer is designed for long term attributes, I would say, and proactive recommendations. Now, the data sources. I mean what On what data sources can you create this card? i mean there is no limitation to it, I would say. You can I'm sorry. You can connect to more than 200 plus enterprises sources at a time. I mean, you can connect to Teradata, you can connect to SAP HANA, you can connect to business objects as an application, then you can connect to SaaS as an application, you can connect to Excel, you can connect to Google Drive. No matter what the database is, be it structured, unstructured, or semi-structured, you have this capability to connect your cards on top of the database and get what you're looking for. So now coming to the security of the cards, it's not that once you develop a card, you can deploy to each and everyone within the organization. There are some strict security that you can enable on your cards. I mean, you can give object level security. I mean, you can define an access list wherein you define the number of users and the kind of users that you want to access a particular set of information. Okay, for example, in this example that you can see, okay, the last, say, yeah, like third row. I mean, the TMC neck EXP and the TMC year to date, they are actually not visible in the second scenario. This is all because it can be controlled using the access control list. So it actually empowers the user. I mean, they have got a strong security, inbuilt security feature wherein you can control the kind of information that you are displaying to the user. I mean, you can implement the object level security, you can implement the row level security within these cards. So, coming to the hyper intelligence products, I mean, hyper intelligence products is basically divided into three separate areas, namely hyperweb, hypermobile, and a hyper office. So by hyperweb, what you can do is that when you hover a mouse or a particular keyword in a web browser, okay, the moment you hover a over a particular keyword in your web browser, it actually gives you a card when it matches the keyword or the synonym that you have defined or the images. The same thing can actually be transferred to mobile also. Okay, so what you can do is that no matter what mobile you have, whether you have an iOS platform or an Android platform, the moment you install these services on your mobile, and for example, you need to look for a particular information, okay, that comes from like variety of sources. For example, you're working in a bank, okay, and you need to have a customer information, and in a banking scenario, you have multiple systems in place. For example, you have the core banking system, you have the customer relationship management system, you have the anti-money laundering, you have the auto lease, you have the loan. So you have multiple systems. So what happens is that getting information from each and every system will be difficult for you. I mean, it will be a cumbersome process. You need to talk to multiple teams. Then there is a long process of ETL, uh, centralization of the data. But with this hyper intelligence, what you can do is that all this can be combined. Okay, all this can be combined into a single source, and data can be displayed to you wherever you want at the palm of your hands. For example, there's customer information that I need to look in my mobile from these different systems. So the moment I install this hyper mobile service on mobile, what I can do is that I can search the name of that particular person and a card will be displayed to me with all the relevant information that I'm looking for. The same thing for the hyper, like for your Outlook. As I was talking previously, I mean, these insights can be delivered directly into your Outlook being instead of having the need to being able to log on to a separate uh, reporting platform. Here, what you can do is that there's no need for you to log into a separate BI platform. It's all these insights are being injected into the application, into your Outlook that you're using on a daily basis with the HyperOffice. And the HyperOffice is basically a part of the HyperIntelligence family. That's it. So, going much more deeper about what MicroStrategy Hyperweb is, that it's all about zero-click intelligence deployed via a browser extension. So, by this, what I mean to say is that for the HyperIntelligence, for the zero-click analytics to work, what you need to do is that you first need to install a web service on top of your browser. So once that web service installed, it actually communicates with the backend and integrates your application. Okay, so some of the features that you have is like the keyword matching. As I was talking previously, the extension automatically scans the content of the websites and browser based applications to find the keyword matches that we had defined during the creation of our hypercards. Okay, then you have the synonym matchums. It's by synonym matchum what, sorry, by synonym matching, what I mean is that, if you're looking for information, it's not that you can define only one particular keyword or something. You can define multiple keywords or multiple highlighted words for a single card. Then you can also do this on based on the image, and for a particular keyword that you are looking to report for, you can have multiple card carousels. The same thing that you can have it on your hypermobile. I was talking previously about hypermobile. I mean, whatever information that you're looking for, it's actually displayed to your mobile the moment you enter the particular keyword. Okay, so this is a small demo of hypermobile, how it actually looks like. Okay, you can have a look at it. Yeah. So I'm just looking for a particular keyword named Sarah Graham, and the moment I enter, I get all the key information. I mean, the phone number, the email, the booking, the availability, the utilization, the net margin. So this can be defined on what your requirements are, on what your KPIs are, on any object that you want or any keyword that you want. It's not specific that you need to follow this format of design. You can follow any format that you want. Then this is the most, I would say, thing that actually a lot of people are interested in as this MicroStrategy hyper office, when how analytics can be injected on your outlook, how it can enable uh, the management, your workforce to take quick decisions. I mean, how it actually looks like. I'll be showing a small demo of it quite soon. So okay, some of the features that supercharges your email. I mean, you can have multiple cards. Okay, and you have the control over your cards. I mean, what kind of information, what keywords that you want to use in your email, it's up to you. I mean, if you look at the filter panel, okay, you have got three cards that are defined. You have the sources. You have this ability to control the cards. Okay, for example, you have got 10 cards deployed on your Outlook, and you do not require them. So what you can do is that you have this complete ability to disable those cards. I mean, you do not need to go to the administrator, or you do not need to contact the IT department to say that, I mean, I do not need this card, so please stop the access. No, you have the complete access over it. Okay, so this is how hyperintelligence on your email actually looks like. I mean, I have a particular email, with regards to the upcoming engagements with a particular organization. Okay, and I need to look like how many of the people or how many of the consultants will be available for the particular criteria to meet this requirement. So what usually happens is I have the names. The moment I hover my mouse over these names, I'm getting all the information that I want. Okay, same. This hyper intelligence can be deployed on top of your, any web link, also web based. Just a minute, just excuse me for a minute, please. Yeah. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. So hyperintelligence, as I said previously, like your hypercards can be integrated also with the websites that you're working with. For example, this is a small demo of how hypercards would look on top of any website. For example, if you see Sierra as the keyword, and I need to have information with regards to the Sierra. So what I can do is that the moment I enable the hypercards, This is how the information look like. I mean, you can design the hypercards based on the information that you want, all, or you can all the key KPIs that you're looking for. I mean, this is how it looks on your web-based application. For example, you're using a Salesforce, and there is and you are actually interested in digging down deep. I mean, you need some information that is not there in the Salesforce. You need to log into the multiple systems for that. I mean, this hyperintelligence eliminates that thing. For example, you can have a look. The moment hyperintelligence is enabled, I mean, I'm able to get all the related information with regards to the keyword flea bank, like what is the revenue, what is the profit, what is the upsell, number of employees. Again, I mean, these are the KPIs that needs to be defined by an individual. Okay, now this is the most important thing. I mean, a lot of you might be pretty much excited with this, I would say. I mean, the Excel. I mean, a lot of people in the organization love to work with Excel. Okay, and it's because of Excel. I would say the people are actually hesitant on moving to the different BI or analytics platform. Now, imagine if you are enabling all this analyst, all your workers who are working on Excel with the latest analytics without having the need to move to a different platform. Have a look at it. You have this Excel, you have all the keywords. Okay, so once I enable my hypercards on top of Excel, this is how it looks like. You see, I mean, in your workforce is working on top of Excel, but the data that he is receiving over here is actually from different source systems. You have data coming in from your transactional system. You have data coming in from the data warehouse systems, from multiple systems. I mean, structured, unstructured, semi-structures. All this data is being given to you on top of Excel. So imagine, I mean, the kind of impact that it can create within your organization. And something that is good to have is hyper intelligence on screen. I mean, this is something like a good to have, I would say, but not a necessity. It's more of a cosmetic thing. For example, like hyper intelligence on screen, I would say that suppose you're going for a meeting. I mean, you have a sales meeting with your organization, okay, and so what it basically does is that outside your meeting rooms you have a big screen. The moment you go near that screen, it actually displays the customized information for you. I mean, you might say how and how this is possible. So the thing is that you need to install a web service in your mobile, okay, that actually communicates with the MicroStrategy server. The moment you go, or the moment you come within the vicinity of the screen, it displays the information that is specific to you. For example, in this scenario, you see, people are walking through the room, and the moment they come within the vicinity of the screen, all the particular information with regards to, their KPIs are being displayed to them. Okay. And some now I would like to go with some of the use cases with regards to the hyper intelligence in various areas. Like we have use cases in retail, we have got use cases in banking, then use cases at the call center level. These are some of the examples that I would like to go through quite quickly. Uh, okay, for example, if you look at the retail, I mean, you can have the vendor card, as I said previously, that actually provides insights into the vendor performance, help them drive sales and supply chain improvements. Okay. For example, if you see in this particular card, see all this information that you see over here, that you are accessing on the palm of your hand. This information is coming from multiple source systems. It's not a single source system, or it's not an Excel sheet that's coming in. I mean, you have the transactional systems, multiple transaction systems, I would say, not a single. I mean, see, you can see the department, the sales, the profit margin, the fill rate, the shipment timelines, the forecast accuracy, and the recommendation, the smart recommendations. Then you have the supply chain card. Again, this is one of the scenarios. I mean, for example, you're working in a logistic based organizations, and you want to keep a track on your shipments, and you want to look at the key KPIs. Like, see, again, this card actually displays quite a good view of your overall logistics and how they are moving. Now, suppose let's take the example of the supply chain card. Let's suppose that in a logistic based organization, you had to access the information on on a screen. You need to log into the system, you need to log in, navigate to the particular folder, and you have to have a look at the multiple reports to have this information. But this information that you see here, the supply chain card with on-time shipments, order picking accuracy, it's being displayed in the palm of your hand directly. Now imagine how it empowers your workforce with this kind of information. Like for example, the peak warehouse capacity uses 99.8%. This is being displayed at the palm of the hands without the need to access any system. So just imagine how it empowers the people who are working on ground. Then you have the competitive pricing card that actually enables you to compare your prices against a competitor, and like the kind of discounts that you can give in. Behind these cards, what you can do is that you can also have algorithms wherein you can customize the pricing based on the conditions that you want. Then you have the store card, you have a product card sample. Okay, now coming to the banking, this is a particular branch card, I would say. For example, I mean, you are what do you, I would say you are a director at a bank, and you would like to know how a particular branch is performing. What will happen in this scenario? I mean, you need to contact your reporting team to give you a particular information. So what will happen is that after this, the reporting team needs to contact multiple the reporting team basically needs to get in contact with the business with the requirements that they have, and after that, they need to navigate through multiple source systems. For example, they need to navigate to the core banking system. They need to navigate the treasury system, the anti-money laundering, the auto lease systems, and on top of that, they need to develop a report, multiple reports. Then they have to provide it to the director. Now with this card, what is happening is that the director, it's he the dependency on IT is being reduced with this. So what is happening is that the moment director is entering the Westwood Bank Center, okay, the keyword is the Westwood Bank Center. The moment he enters that, I mean, this information is actually displayed on his Outlook or on his mobile or even on Excel sheet. But the people from the executive level, they actually love to work with Outlook. So this information that you see, I mean, the branch manager, who is the branch manager, what is the asset balance like, what is the liability balance, and what is the profitability rank, what is the customer retention, is being displayed to him directly in his Outlook. I mean, there is no need for him to contact the IT, ask them to create a separate report. I mean, there is no need for him to pass the parameters. I mean, no matter what branch you have, I mean, he just can enter the branch name. It's like a Google search, I would say. The moment you enter the branch name, the keyword actually gets highlighted, and then you have this card popping up. Then you have the wealth management client card, and you again you have this. I mean, it actually helps wealth advisors with instant insights into portfolios so they can perform better and deliver superior client services. Then you have this for the insurance. So for example, you're working in an insurance organization, you have a claim, and again, we know that we all of us. I mean, with regards to the insurance, I mean, it's not an easy thing to work with. I mean, the insurance guys are pretty much difficult to deal with. I mean, this has been my experience. Okay, so there is a particular claim number. You are an analyst working on a particular claim. Okay, so you have someone calling you in that I mean, they have a claim. So what usually you need to do is that again you need to open multiple systems, look at the information, what is the claim amount, what is the premium. Again, this actually is empowering your end customer. I mean, the analyst, your workforce with all the key information that they require. Then you have the product card, you have the hyperintelligence for the call center. It's like, what's the case number? Okay, this all these what you see are various business scenarios wherein you can use this hypercards for uh, providing the business users with the key KPI information that they're looking at. So now I would like to go to how this hypercards work. Okay, so what you need to do is that you actually need to connect to the data, build cards, and just deploy it. Okay, I will show you like how it looks in the real time. Okay, you for building the hypercards, as you can see previously here, you actually need something called as workstation for MicroStrategy. Okay, this is the workstation where you have got pre-built templates. You can drag and drop the workflows, and you can format the card the way you want it. I mean, it's not that you need to follow a fixed format when designing these cards. And you have multiple widgets in there, a mix of widgets like the text, like the charts, the rings. I mean, you can use whatever you want. But the most information thing is that, I mean, you need to display the precise KPI information on your cards that is actually enabling your workforce. I mean, these are the pre-built templates that you see, the drag and drop workflows and the granular formatting. I mean, you can also have dynamic links on top of your cards. For example, you are looking at a particular card, hypercard, and you have the key KPI information. Now, if you want to drill down, if you're interested in drilling down to the line level item, what you can do is that you can have a link to that particular report or the particular information on top of your hypercards. Okay, so with hypercard, it's you just need to build it once and you can deploy it across multiple platforms. You can deploy it over the web, over the mobile, on or your office. So it's not that, I mean, you need to develop different hypercards for different platforms. No, you just need to design it once, and the moment you design it, you can deploy it across multiple platforms, as you can see. Now, with regards to the deployment option that you have with Hyperintelligence, I mean, you can deploy it on cloud with Amazon, with Azure, or Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, or you can do it on premises also. The benefit that you have with this Amazon and Microsoft Azure is that, I mean, this can be up and running within 30 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes is all what you need to set up the platform on Amazon and Microsoft Azure. Then with regards to the virtualization, you can have it on VMware, on Docker, and as far as the OS is concerned, you have Linux and Windows. Okay. Now there's one more thing that I would like to talk about with regards to the hypercards is that it's something called a semantic graph. Semantic graph, uh, it is actually a layer. I would say it's actually a centralized layer that actually combines the data from multiple source systems, creating a single version of truth across the organizations. For example, if you see banking or a telecom enterprise, I mean, you have like 50, 60 systems that are running in place, and having to create reports on top of the systems is a big task. So, what enterprise semantic graph does is that it actually combines the data from this multiple systems, creating a single version of truth. Okay, so some of the features like of semantic graphs are like it enriches the index with location intelligence and usage telemetry to deliver contextual, personalized recommendations. The good thing is that it supports trusted self-service. I mean, in this day, the business teams are actually reluctant, I would say, on relying on the IT department. But with having this enterprise semantic graph in place, the business teams can reduce the reliability on their IT teams and create the reports that they want on their own. It has the ability to scale without any limitations in the performance within the sub-seconds response time. Okay, this is how it actually looks like. Semantic graph, you can see on the bottom, you can see over here You have this multiple source systems that you have: Teradata, DBA2, SQL Server, Redshift, Hive, Salesforce applications, Facebook, Google Cloud. So what you're doing is that using semantic graph, you are creating a single version of truth over here. So, and top of this, you can create your cards. So, okay, you have this ability to create your cards by directly accessing the sources, okay, individual sources, or using a semantic graph, wherein you have this ability to mash up the data the way you want it. So this is how it actually looks like semantic graph. I mean, they have inbuilt indexes. I mean, you have got recommendations based on the AI algorithms, and you can use this model across like multiple platforms. So that's it from my side with regards to the presentation. But I would like to show you one demo, one live demo, how this actually works. Sorry for this. Okay. Okay. Now this is my email. Okay. Now let's suppose that I'm working in a distribution based organization, and I receive an email from my team for for the approval to load particular order. Okay, I've got three partners. Say they are partner A, partner B, and partner C, as you can see over here. Okay, and the order value for these partners that they have placed with us is for like 250K, 134K, 60K, with particular vendors, say vendor A, vendor B, and vendor C. Now I have to take a quick decision. I mean, what I'm going to do. I just have this information. I have three partner names, and I need to provide my approval to load this order. I mean, in a typical scenario, what I need to know, I mean, what I will do is that I will actually look what is the order value, what are the line items, fine, and do they have a credit limit with us? I need to contact the finance team to check whether they have a credit limit with us in order to book this order for them or not. Then I need to contact the inventory team to check with them whether they have any inventory with us. I mean, that's been not clear for this particular partner. Two departments I have already contacted. Now, in case I need to contact this partner to understand more about this particular order, I need to contact them. But do I have this information over here? No. See, so in this scenario, what I need to do is that I need to contact three different departments. Then I need to wait for them to get back to me with the clear and precise information. And sometimes, usually, what happens is that the information that I get from this department is not accurate. Then I need to go back to them again and say them, guys, the information that you provided is not accurate or not right. Please provide me with the right information. So in this to and fro process, a lot of time is actually, I would say, wasted. Now with hypercards, with hypercards enabled, see how it empowers you. I have this partner A. I'm actually hovering my mouse over this particular keyword. You see this, the information that I'm being displayed. I mean, I have the partner name at the top. I have his address. I have his phone number. I have all the key pair information that I'm looking for. Example, like what is the credit limit? It's 500. I mean, how much of that credit limit is available? It's 100. And what are the credit days? I mean, like how much grace period he has got to pay us back. Do they have an inventory with us? Yes. What is the value of that inventory? 15K. What are the total transactions? What are the total transactions that we have done with them? You can also say the volume of transaction that we have done with them. And what is the total value of transactions till date with them? It's like 10 million. Then if you look at the rings if you look at the rings, when what percentage of payments they have made in time to us, it's like 83% of the payments they have made in time. And what is the average profit that we are working with them on 23% average profit. And there are some recommendations to me that you can look at the bottom, like partner A have been working with us quite closely in the government sector for the last 5 years. Now you see, I mean, how drastically the time has reduced for me to take an action on it. Just seconds, not days, not hours, not minutes. I'm being given the precise information that I'm looking for, and I am able to take a decision within seconds. Now, I mean, for example, now I'm looking for the partner B. I have a credit limit of 300, credit available is 0, credit days is 60, no inventory, value of inventory is 0. Okay, so I have got 13 transactions with them, the total value being 567K. Now, if I look at the percentage of payments in time, like 98% of the payments they have made us within time, then, and we are operating with them on an average profit of 40%. So what this shows me, this is actually enabling me to take the decision right away. Okay, I can approve to load this or book this particular order from partner B. Okay, because their track record with us has been quite good. Coming to partner C. Okay, I have all the key information, like what is the location, their phone number, their website, and the credit. What's the credit limit like? What are the credit days? Do they have an inventory with us? Again, the same information being displayed. And if I look at the bottom, 43% of the payment in time. They just made us 43% of the payments in time. Remaining all of them have been delayed, and the average profit that you see is 7%. I mean, we are operating with them on a 7% profit margin. So I can take a decision of rejecting this order to be not to be booked. Okay, unless and until they don't clear an inventory that they have with us, like they have an inventory with us for 30,000. So, I mean, you guys can imagine how it is enabling your workforce in taking right decisions at the right time, at the right place, within seconds. Okay. Now, this is how it looks on your Outlook. For example, you can actually enable these cards on any websites also. For example, I created some sample of cards. Let me open this website. For example, let's take this Tahat. It's actually tahat.sa. Or one website that you have here in Saudi Arabia, National Labor Gateway, and they have got various programs. So I was able to integrate all this key KPI information on top of my websites also. For example, I have the programs on this particular website. Now, suppose there are multiple programs, as you can see. Now, if I'm looking for a particular information, again, I need to contact multiple people. Okay, but the moment I hover my mouse over a particular keyboard, I'm able to see the key information. If you see total male registered, female registered, overall hire, paid, amount to be paid, job post, job occupancy. I mean, I believe you can, like, now you can assess how powerful these hypercards are without the need to log into a separate system, without the need to navigate to multiple systems. Then again, for professional certificates, you have programs. You see, all the key informations are being displayed when and where at the precise level that I'm looking for. Then you have childcare program. What is the job occupancy, male versus female hired? See? So again, I would like to reiterate this fact that this.
Sorry everyone, Suhail is facing some connectivity issues. He's trying to log in again. Please give us a minute.
Okay. Sorry, there was a brief disconnect from my side. I believe you guys can see my screen now. Okay, so we have some questions coming in. Okay, how do you correctly identify which card needs to be shown? A keyword example name is not a primary key and might have two different cards associated with it. Okay, so usually what you have is that if you have a particular name, for example, okay, for example, you're looking for a, I would say, there's a particular product and you have two particular cards for that product. So what you can do is that once you enable those cards, okay, your two cards are enabled. So I actually type the product keyword. The moment I hover, a card is displayed. After that, what happens is that I can navigate through the different set of cards. I mean, I have an option to navigate to the different set of cards. Okay, so all the two cards are actually displayed to me. I mean, it's not that two or three. I mean, you can have a 10 card, you can have 10 cards for a particular object, and you can actually navigate through this card. Only a single card will be displayed, but you have this ability to navigate through different cards. So, do we have? I hope that is clear. Do we have any other questions?
No, Suhail, I think that those are all the questions we have for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining the session. In case you have any queries, we will be dropping you a thank you emailer with the contact details of our sales personnel. So you can reach out to us anytime in case of any questions that you guys have. Okay. Also, we have a series of other webinar sessions scheduled in the month of April. We will be reaching out to you with our invites, and you all can join any sessions you feel is productive for you guys. Thank you again, and hope all of you have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.